You know, it works like that. Are we on already? Are you here? You joining us already? Well, I'm glad you've joined us. We've got a terrific lineup for you tonight. And they're going to be addressing some really wicked letters tonight. Here we go. First up, have you had enough of Meghan and Harry? Because the letter writer writes in and says, hang on, aren't they brats? Have we had enough of them? I don't know. Some people love them. My daughter is a stalker. What a sad thing for a dad to write in. Why? Because she's even stalked the dad. And finally, it's time to bring back death and wealth taxes back. Bring back death and wealth taxes back. Well, you know what we mean. All these letters and more coming your way right now. Don't go away. Sweet and Sour and the panellists right now.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
How's the sugar in there, baby?
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
How's it got some chili?
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
Yeah, good evening everyone. Welcome to Sweet and Sour. Gary Mitchell with you for the next half hour and a terrific lineup tonight. My mate is back on the panel. Hello, Lewis.
Oh, hello, sir. How are
Mate,
you?
it's been ages since you've been on the panel. I've missed you dramatically.
It's been a while, man. Look, I've aged 10 years since I've been.
It hasn't been that long since we've had you on the panel.
I know.
Are you doing well?
I'm all right now.
You're all right now?
I'm all right. Yeah.
All right. You lost your mum?
Don't tell the world I lost my mum.
You've got it on your...
Okay, fair enough.
Happy memories, mate.
She's
Thank
good
you
lady.
for coming back.
Good lady. Is she, Roman Catholic, so she should be up there.
Oh, good on her.
Lovely.
All right. Happy
Oh,
memories of
beautiful.
Lewis's mum. Hello.
Hi.
What you cooked for me today?
Today actually I wasn't cooking, I was actually writing.
Because?
I'm presenting another TV show.
Called?
It's at Fresh TV.
Fresh TV.
Yeah, so I was actually
What a
writing
great
all the
name
recipes
for
out.
a TV show about food.
Yes.
Fresh TV. Where do we see that?
Channel 7,
When?
Saturdays,
What time?
5:30.
We don't do shameless plugs here. Hello, Courtney.
Hello.
Oh, you're another one on TV as well.
A little
I
bit.
see you all the time.
I saw myself on the way here, actually. I drove half the way here.
You were watching
behind
TV
myself.
while you were driving. I'm sure
I was
that's...
on a bus. And
you
I
were on
was
a bus?
followed myself here. It led me.
You were on a bus.
Yes.
You saw yourself on a bus while you were
I
catching a
followed
bus
myself.
while you were driving.
Yeah, I did.
Nice to have you here.
It was funny.
JD, for the first time, welcome, sir.
Terrific to be here. Thank
Terrific
you very
to
much.
have you
Yeah.
after all this time.
Yeah.
JD and I have become acquainted. We go to the same coffee shop and
We're coffee buddies.
we are coffee buddies and we chat the breeze and we, sort it all out. And I thought, it's time to get JD on the show. So welcome,
Yeah.
sir.
And we've answered a lot of problems.
Oh, nobody took any notice of us, though.
No one was filming that
Don't tell
No.
Don't tell anybody, though. Here we go. Abby's holding up the screen that says, letter, now. Hello, Sweet and Sour. I'm a bit over it. Meghan and Harry are just a touch sensitive, aren't they? Constant complaining about the apparent menacing media attention that's such an overwhelmingly huge intrusion into their self-indulgent lives. And yes, I remember Harry's mum's tragic demise. I also remember how Diana very deliberately broke out of the shackles of Windsordom and courted the press to aid in her quest to garner public sympathy. When she was satisfied with the result, she simply couldn't switch off the media monster she created. So now Meghan has, or is it Meghan? Meghan. So now Meghan has hired a PR firm, and at the same time, Harry has taken the tabloids to court, suing for defamation. Well, they're both entitled to do just that, but seriously, what an attitude. Horribly self-indulgent brats, the two of them. And then to see Meghan complain about her media treatment being unfair while being filmed amongst the world's poorest in Africa was too much to take. Haven't we had enough of these brats and the self-perpetuating, utterly entitled royal kids? None of this generation will ever come close to emulating the dignity with which Queen Elizabeth has always held herself. Your thoughts, please. Janine, get this, of Windsor in Victoria. Nat.
Yes.
Your views on Harry and Meghan.
Well, I live a really happy, fulfilled life.
So you don't really bother about them, right?
I don't know if that means that, I can't see the point in carrying on about it. And it's nice to see the occasional, wedding and outfit and the good things that they do. And I like to concentrate on the positive and the good things that people with a profile do. And there seems to be a plethora that particular couple do. If you want a list, you should probably pick up another copy of Your New Idea, which it seems like you single-handedly support. I can't even comment, Janine. Get a life.
Get a life, Lewis.
Yes.
Are you of the get a life variety?
Well, Janine's entitled to her opinion because, it's free country, it's free world, tiny
so
planet,
sweet.
all that jazz, right? Yeah. And I don't suppose that Meghan and Harry envisaged that the media attention would be so large.
Yeah.
What a load of bollocks. Of course they did. Yeah. But at the same token, somebody fecks with you, right? I'm not allowed to say. I can only say feck. So if someone fecks with you, then you got to retaliate, and that's what Harry's doing. And that's the way it is. That's the way it goes, isn't it? I'm just happy that there's a sister in the White House, a quiet sister.
Oh, well done. All right, JD.
Well, I'm a little bit of a royalist, I think, being British. I'm from Liverpool, but anyway, I'm British. But look, Harry and William aren't cut from the same cloth as Queen Elizabeth. There's a younger generation that's coming through. But Meghan's from Hollywood. She should have known that the media was going to pay a lot of attention because the media does that, and the media really hounds these people. She should have known that.
Do you think Meghan might be playing it?
I have a feeling that she might. Apparently Prince Charles calls Meghan Tungsten. That's her nickname.
Oh,
because
really?
tungsten is tough and unbending, just like a very tough metal, and he reckons that that's what she's got. So maybe Meghan's just playing this media attention, and maybe Harry's doing the same thing. I don't know.
But if you think about it, mate, if it were you, it would pee you off. Just a touch,
Oh, look,
don't
it
you
would be, yeah. But they didn't ask to be
I
royal, so
think
maybe
they're
we should cut them some
absolutely
slack.
Horrible to her.
They are horrible to her. They have been since she said, "I do."
atrocious. I can't even look at it.
Yeah.
It just
I
doesn't
thought you
display
didn't
kindness.
care, Nat.
No, well, I can't look at it.
They've even got,
I care about the people because
they've
it's
even
just
got a
unkind.
see-through photo of Meghan, like they did with Diane. Bastards.
And the thing is, it's this bad behaviour again and again, and everyone goes, "Oh, well, that's just what the media does, or they should know what they're getting themselves into." But that's just saying that this bad behaviour is being excused, and at the end of the day,
Who's bad behaviour? The media.
the
you're talking-
media.
Yeah.
The media.
And then you get the hecklers.
It's not okay.
What's the bad behaviour?
They hound them and they prod them, and the
That's
intrusion
stories,
of privacy.
Nothing's the truth. It's just whatever's going to sell the magazine. How many times has Jennifer Aniston been pregnant? How many babies do you see?
That's true. But
God's sake.
that's what we've created,
If there was an
unfortunately.
geezer
Well, if you
hanging
buy a
out
new idea,
of a tree
yes.
at the back of my gaff, taking photographs of me, then
I'd shoot him back.
he'd be sleeping with
Just
the
not with a
fishes like
camera.
my mama.
But you'd also
deep.
be born into a family that would come to expect that sort of thing as well.
But it's not okay. And these are
I
they
don't
are
think
a
it's
younger
okay either,
generation,
but
and
I
they're
don't-
lying laws, and they're going, "Hey, this isn't
It's not okay to pick
for
on
anyone."
I
who's
think
had a baby.
good answer,
Yes.
Harry. But I hope Harry's
Yes.
antics in the courts also help us as well, because that's what it's all about.
I love them. I
Laws
think
for
they're
everybody,
great.
not just the rich and powerful, because
Well,
most
that's why he's
people
in
can't
court.
afford
If
to
he was
take
that
people to
powerful,
court.
he wouldn't need to go to court, would he?
Well, no, yeah, but defamation's defamation, and if it
Yep.
is defamation, he'll win.
Yep.
And if it's not,
We will,
What about
we
all
will
the good
see.
things they're doing? Like
Exactly,
Invictus
focus
Games
on
and
the
the
post.
mental health issues that they're... where's all the news about that they're doing? We don't see that.
No.
We asked you at home to answer this question for us. Are Harry and Meghan a little too sensitive regarding media negativity? And the answers that you provided were aggregated into these. Scores for yes, 32%. Scores for no, 68%. There you go. They're not being a little too sensitive.
No, they're not.
When we come back, we're going to be talking about stalking. A dad writes in about his own daughter. What are the media going to do with that? Nothing, are they? She's not interesting. When we come back, more of Sweet and Sour.
Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar in there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
How's about some chili?
It's time for Sweet
Well, welcome back to Sweet and Sour, and if you'd like to send us a letter and have it discussed by our panellists, send it to one of the social contact media points on your screen right now. There it is. Guess it's not. There it is. There's 5 of them, no excuses, you can get them in, and for every letter that we do discuss on the show, we're going to send you this week to the movies to see Brittany Runs a Marathon, courtesy of Natalie Cameron and NRC Communications. Thank you, Nat. And here we go. Hello, Mitch and panellists. My daughter is a stalker. Every boyfriend she's ever had, she stalked for no other reason than she felt either a little estranged, and she probably was deluded, or she was stalking them out at work or some other place because she thought they were lying to her. It suddenly clicked in my head that my lovely, funny, beautiful 26-year-old, highly qualified daughter, she's a physiotherapist, has enormous trust issues. What can I do to make her relax? How did I cause this if I did? How can I can see now that if it's not just boyfriends, my poor girl distrusts everyone. Work colleagues, friends and family alike. And you guessed it, she stalked them all. She even surprised her mum and me at a restaurant we went to, when half an hour after we arrived, so did she. We all laughed at the time, but now I realise she's always managed to hide her mistrust and stalking with her humour. Her last boyfriend, a terrific man and a lawyer, called me after he broke up with her to alert me to the constant stalking that increased after they broke up. Gosh. So I ask all of you, how can I help my otherwise terrific kid and do it discreetly? Brian of Mount Lawley, just down the road in WA. First up, Courtney, a stalker.
Trust isn't the first thing that came into my head. It sounds like she's really insecure.
Very insecure.
Very insecure. And
trust issues.
I don't know what the back history is, but maybe it's worth looking at that. If there is something that happened in her past, or as a family, or maybe he's separated from his wife. Doesn't sound like there's a mention of a mum.
Do you take it head on and say, come here?
Talk about it.
Come here.
Talk about it.
Sit down.
She's
You're
26
a stalker.
though. No, I don't think you emphasise that. I don't think you judge.
You're not going to tell her that she's a stalker.
You're not going to judge her more. No, you're going to look at the core of the problem, which is that she needs to feel
You're not
loved
a psychologist,
and more secure.
And that's your daughter.
But I think the last thing she needs is someone to judge her more, because she's already feeling...
Do you ask her if she's a stalker?
No, that would be judging her more, I think.
Well, what do you do? How do you stop this behaviour?
There's bad connotations to that.
You talk about relationships with her, you cultivate more of a healthy idea of relationships with her, you talk about her as being a strong, beautiful, smart, intelligent woman, the way he just described her. Focus on the positive, not on the negative.
How long is that going to take?
Well, all good things take time.
Do you send her off to therapy?
Yes, I probably would.
Yes.
Therapy's good. I think therapy's...
JD, what do you do if you're her dad? Do you pay for her therapy, or do you sit her down and say, listen, girl?
Brian, you've obviously got a lot of love for this girl, and that comes through in the letter. But believe it or not, I had a stalker when I was... I've been doing radio for a long time, and I've had a stalker. And that was a really uncomfortable thing to deal with from that point of view. But dealing with it when it's your daughter, that's really difficult. That underlying reasons, the root causes of why she's doing that behaviour, that's important to actually try and have a dialogue with her and talk to her about that. If you can do that in a loving way, and what issues have brought her to that point. It may be a really uncomfortable conversation to have, but I think it's a really important one to have. Patience and love. And professional help if she's amenable to that. But sometimes these issues have to be pointed out to people, and in a loving way, if you can do it in a loving way and say, look, there's something happening here, we need to deal with this, we need to do it in a nice way.
All right. Lewis, you must have had stalkers in your Club Bay View days.
Not me personally, because...
Oh, come on, I stalked you.
Did you? Well, there was this one lady who used to keep all the newspaper clippings, but she was lovely. But this girl reminds me of the girl out of the Wedding Crashers, the Australian actress. If you leave, I will find you. Having said that, he needs to distribute a little bit of tough love, like you said, and I reckon a trip to the States, Dr. Phil. Sorted. Laughing. Do you know what I mean?
Dr.
Having said
Phil.
that, if she's free and she wants to help me with my carpal tunnel and my meniscus,
She's a physio.
she can stalk the feck out of me. Do you know what I mean? Lovely jubbly.
Come on, Nat, final word. Have you ever been a stalker or have you ever had a stalker?
I've had one.
You've had one. What did you do?
We had to put stuff in the back garden to detect when he came through, and
How recently was that?
Oh, a long time now.
What did you put in the back garden? Rat sack?
No, laser lines and.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
And that would trigger the alarm?
Yeah, then the alarm would go off. But yeah, that bit's not fun. But look, I think the fear of abandonment doesn't really allow them to reason. So when you have no ability to reason, as much as it might be nice to sit down and talk to her and talk to that, there really is a behaviour that needs to be unpacked by someone who's a professional. And my advice is to let her know how much she's beautiful and where she excels, make her feel positive about herself, but at the same time tell her that it's because you care about her and you love her that you feel that she needs to unpack this behaviour if she's going to have a real successful relationship, which after all is what she's craving, but she doesn't know how to attain. And perhaps if you put it in that manner, you're going to do a lot better with the outcome of this. And I truly hope that she finds, but it really is a significant issue and there's a lot to unpack there. For my 1 minute before the producer does all this stuff, I can't unpack it all.
Well, have a look at this result. We asked you at home to answer this question for us online. Do you feel that stalking is on the increase? Have a look at this result. 67% of people said yes.
Well, look at
But
social
that's
media
social
in
media
itself.
Well, that's true.
You can.
Yeah.
My
Online?
sister has got all her son's social media, and she knows exactly what he's up to, and she can pinpoint him where he is on her phone.
Oh,
But I mean,
man.
that's motherly love, I suppose.
How old is he?
You'd hope so.
He's 30 and she's 54.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
30.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But
When
she
we
gets
come
to know
back-
what's going on.
We're going to be talking about death taxes and wealth taxes and whether it's time to bring them in now that there are a mega squillion lot of billionaires out there, and some of them, many in the US, have actually said it's time to bring in death taxes, the billionaires themselves. More of Sweet and Sour when we come back. See you then.
Sweet and sour.
Pour some sugar in there, baby.
It's time for sweet and sour.
How's about some chili?
It's time for sweet and sour.
Welcome back. Here we go. Tax the Dead. This one's called Dear Sweet and Sour. It's about time we started urgently shifting the country's resources back to the majority. When only a handful of individuals and families hold as much of the nation's wealth as held by 60% of our people, it's pressing. I celebrate those individuals who, through their enterprise and learned skill, manage to grow an extraordinarily large property and resource base and amass fortunes. I fail to understand, however, why their kids and every subsequent generation after that should have the availability of those resources and the power forever to the exclusion of the rest of us. It's just not a fair go for anyone, and it's the sickening problem the world has faced for centuries. Prior to us moving into this commercially seduced modern world, we used to have death and wealth taxes for the very purpose of stopping the huge generational inequalities. But once the rich controlled the politicians, they did away with these tools of redistribution. It's time to bring the death and wealth taxes back by all means. Leave the kids with a degree of wealth and comfort, but the rest must go back to the people. Max of Coburg in Victoria. Straight to you, Lewis.
Okay, I disagree, and anything my mama and my daddy made, they want to give to me, I'll be more than happy to take it. Because it's family money, which means that 20% of that shit is mine, and no one else is going to get.
What about if there was a
Did they
threshold?
do away with that? Yonks ago? How
What
long
about
we
if there was a
talking?
threshold, like anybody who's got more than 50 million bucks and all the billionaires?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, you know, if I was a billionaire, I'd still say.
More rules.
I'd say no.
And more rules to find loopholes.
But they're good
for.
rules, aren't they?
Oh no,
money.
they're not.
Well, I think they might be.
Oh no, look, if you want to behave that way, you could go to a country with socialist values.
Well, no, we're not
Cuba?
suggesting that. Are we?
Maybe.
We're actually talking about a
They don't
redistribution.
seem to do so
The job
well.
of a government, though,
Oh,
is
look,
to
and
do
the
just
stats are
that,
wrong, Barry.
redistribute.
The stats are wrong.
One of
60% of our people, if you're going to quote stats, get them right. It's 50-50, roughly 50-50.
them. What's 50-50? Explain that.
Okay, so the top 10% of wealth, the top 10% in the top, it's $2 million is their net wealth, and that's once you take away all the money that they own. And banks and bits and pieces, and I like to look at the positives. The good thing about that, while I was researching this, which I actually researched, was I found that the gender gap of pay has closed by 16%, and now there's only a 10% gap in the gender inequality. So
I hope that's true.
Yeah, no, that's the latest research. The stats
Well, I hope
have
that's
said.
the case. We've still got a long way to go, 10% to catch up.
Yes, I'm just guessing that Mummy and Daddy of Max here.
That was a good
were
bait
bit-
and switch,
yeah.
by the way.
I
That's what people do. Bait and switch. They
Politics
don't like
next.
the topic. They bait and switch. We asked you at home, is it time we brought back death taxes and wealth taxes only on the mega rich, not the $2 million holders? And here's what you said.
Yes.
60% said yes, 40% said no. Well, 40% of people apparently feel mega rich. Isn't that wonderful? All
I
right,
might just not feel it's fair.
Courtney, agreed.
I think balance. I think how can one of us be happy if all the others are sad? And that's an extreme kind of saying or way of looking at it. If the divide gets massive, which it will tend to do, if we continue living like this and allowing it, I don't know. We've seen it in other larger countries older than
You
us,
also get
and
the
it
mega
doesn't.
rich having massive bequeathments. I can
It's
name
greed,
local
it's
ones
Massive
like Forest.
bequeathments.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's great.
yeah.
That's great. We
Yeah,
enjoy
so-
that. But that's before they've actually
I think when you're in that position, you know.
give it away. I'm happy for them to give it away.
What else are they going to do?
I'm happy for them to give it away, but I'm happy for the government to.
Yeah, well, how about they get
Well,
to
I'm happy for
decide
the
how rather
people.
than the government?
I would be happy for them
Yeah.
to decide. That's terrific.
Yeah.
And a lot of my feeling against it is I don't want to give it to governments who are beholden to corporations.
Well, yeah, that's
I'd
it.
rather,
It's that we
I'd
don't
rather the
trust
mega
the government.
rich gave it away themselves.
Yeah, that's it. It all needs to be open and honest. Going back to
It says a lot about
earlier
our government. when
conversations.
People like me feel like that.
Exactly. That's exactly right, and that's why people go, and because they don't trust. No one trusts, and that's the problem.
No one trusts.
No one
Where
trusts.
Where does it go?
It would be nice to
Where
see
does it
more
go?
people philanthropic, those that have earned a lot of money, they're in a position to actually
They
give
do.
back, and they do, and there's lots
They
of
do.
people that do.
They
But
do.
then the other side of it is maybe what's wrong with earning that money and wanting the best for your family. We do want the best for our family. It's like
Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
We all do- we all do
I'm
that.
going to quote the Bible here, just to say Matthew 7 verse 9 says, "Which one of you, if your son asks for bread, will give him a stone?" We want to give our children the best. It doesn't matter what level of wealth we might be. We want to pass that on. But at the same time, yes, we need to be looking out for the community, I think, as well. And maybe, I don't know if death and wealth taxes are the answer. It makes me think of Monty Python, help, I'm being repressed. But I don't know, maybe that
Yeah,
is, maybe it
another
is
way that-
something.
If you manage to look after your kids for the rest of their lives
Yeah.
and left enough to look after their lives and then tax the extreme oversupply of wealth that you managed to accrue, would you have a problem with that if their kids were looked after?
Probably not. I think,
I think most people see it like that.
yeah. And as you said, the bequests are a really big thing. We see that in community
Which is a great
organisations,
thing.
which
We
is
need
great.
a new way. We need a new way.
Well, we have to work towards it. What are you showing me?
Letter 2. Don't we do a prize anymore, or is it just...
You like letter 2. We don't anymore, but you did like letter 2,
the other two,
which was the stalker.
The other 2 should like...
Lewis is giving you a prize, letter 2, about the stalker. So Brian of Mount Lawley, Lewis is coming out to you to give you a big
I'll be
kiss.
there in half an hour. I'll be there in half an hour.
All right, we've got to say goodbye. Say goodbye, except to Brian of Mount Lawley, who you're coming out to see right now. Good night, mate.
Around the corner.
Good to have you. Good night, Nat. Are you cooking this week? What are you cooking?
Tomorrow.
What are you cooking?
Sous vide chicken.
What type? What?
Sous vide chicken.
Sous vide chicken.
Yeah, boil it in the bag.
Look it up.
Sous vide.
Let's play it next show.
Soft and succulent.
Sous vide. What's a sous vide? What's a sous vide? I don't know what a sous vide is. What are you cooking for me tomorrow night?
I don't cook.
I'm not coming around to your place. I'm going to have sous vide over there. JD, what's on your menu tomorrow night?
Beans on toast. There you go.
Man after my own heart. Thank all of our wonderful panellists. Thank our terrific crew here at Central. Actually, it's a good lot. It'd be easier if you guys came back next week because don't have to tap anybody on the shoulder. You want to come back next week? Lewis?
Yeah.
Natty?
I'm in the
To explain
neighbourhood.
what sous vide chicken
So
is.
yeah. I'll tell you what
We
it
should
is
do a
once I've been
cooking
there.
show.
You coming next week?
I'll like assist. Yeah, I'll be here.
Yeah.
JD?
Try and keep me away.
All
I'll
right,
be
mate.
here.
Have a good week on radio.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks for watching. Good night, Australia. This is where we wait.
Okay, bye-bye.
Good night, everyone. See you next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Keep smiling and bye for now.